Now, we talked about this earlier, the group of parents which meet in Hull tomorrow evening. They are parents with a gay son or daughter, and the group is organised through the LGBT Christian Fellowship in Hull and the East Riding. Well, earlier this hour we heard from Lucy Gorman, one of the founders of the fellowship, and described how her parents responded when she told them she was gay.
And my dad said, as long as you're happy, we're always going to love you, and we just want you to be happy. And it couldn't have gone better. But I know that that's not always the case in many families, especially in Christian families, that, some people haven't come to terms with their own sexuality, never mind kind of told anyone else about it, just because what they have been taught is that it's wrong and you can't be a Christian and be gay at the same time. And that's just not the case whatsoever.
Well, Lucy's parents, Linda and Barry, belong to the parent support group set up through the fellowship. It meets tomorrow, and they told Judy about their reaction to the news that Lucy was gay.
Well, Lucy told us she was gay, so she tells me 8 years ago today. She came downstairs, she said, "I want to tell you something." She sat down and said, "I think I'm gay." And I was fairly relieved, actually, that she wasn't pregnant. And I looked at her dad and he seemed okay about it. Lucy cried, and I think she thought maybe that we were going to sort of tell her that she had to leave home, and that we'd probably be told not to go back to the church anymore. But obviously that didn't happen. I mean, it was a shock, although I knew that Lucy wasn't quite the same as her friends. She wasn't quite the same, but I didn't really think she was gay. I'd never really thought about it, to be quite honest, but it is quite a shock, and it's also a shock, I think, to learn something about your child that you don't know.
I remember coming downstairs and standing by the radiator and telling us that she had something to say, and as Linda said, he was massively relieved that she wasn't pregnant. When she explained, it didn't really have much impact on me. It didn't alter anything within the family and how we felt about Lucy. I mean, she could have come down and said she sprouted two heads and we would still have loved her.
What kind of questions went through your mind, though, Barry, about she's come out to you, but she's still got to come out to her friends, to family, to her church? Were you worried about how other people would react?
No, not really. I mean, how other people react, really, if they don't react in a positive way, sort of take the view that it's their problem and not mine. It certainly isn't Lucy's. As far as we're concerned, we love Lucy as she is. And if people can't accept that or have prejudices that, make life difficult for them, well, I'm sorry about that, and maybe they should think about the prejudices. From a Christian point of view, it didn't make any difference to us. We're a Christian family, we've always been Christian, and we can't see how that would affect God's love for Lucy or God's love for us as family. As far as we're concerned, God created Lucy in a perfect way, although don't tell her she's perfect, otherwise she'll get even more big-headed. But, we prayed for Lucy before she was born. We were late starters in the marriage stakes, and we were praying for Lucy before she was born. And when she arrived, we felt we had the perfect baby, and we still feel we've got the perfect baby, really.
We know that there's now a support group for parents, and I just wonder how important it is for you, Linda, to know that there are other people who know where you're coming from.
Well, when Lucy first came and told us that she was gay, we didn't know anyone who was gay or any parents of gay children. And it was quite a struggle, really, because sometimes you think you're the only ones, and obviously you're not. And it wasn't until another friend of ours, who is a retired clergyman, his wife told us that his son was gay. And they both came down and just sort of, we shared together. He brought some books for us to read. He talked about what he believed. He talked about his son and his partner. And it was such a relief to find out that there was someone else in the same position. So I think the support group is very useful for people, maybe for parents who feel lonely and feel that it's a problem that only they have got.
There we are, Linda and Barry Gorman. The Parents Support Group, organised through the LGBT Christian Fellowship for Hull and the East Riding, meets tomorrow in Hull at 7:30 in the evening. Linda says anyone with a gay son or daughter is welcome. You don't have to be a member of the church, or indeed a Christian for that matter. If you want to know more details and about the venue and the group itself, then please go onto the website lgbtchristianfellowship.co.uk.